everybody, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the 6th season of the NASCAR Class C Maconi Fixed Series. This evening, we're excited to bring you top split action for the weekly strength of field race for the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing, including the top split for this series, as well as Fast Fridays. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name's Justin Prince. Alongside the booth for tonight's coverage is Brayton Laster. DJ Line works controls this evening as a producer, using cameras provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Brayton, we've seen a mix of every track this season, but tonight we go to a classic intermediate where every lane is an option. With that in mind, what can we expect to see here tonight here at Homestead?
Yeah, when you ask drivers to name their favorite track on iRacing, Homestead is always a top three for almost any oval driver on the platform. And because of those multi-groove, the multi-lane options like you mentioned there, you can see drivers running the top, ripping the lip, ripping the fence, getting their right rear right up there against the wall, and you have their risk versus reward up there, drivers running the middle or the bottom. But regardless, the racing will be intense all 40 laps.
Get at Homestead Miami Speedway here tonight. This racetrack around since 1995 with both an oval and road course layout. From 1995 to 96, it was styled more so towards what you see with Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It became very flat in terms of its oval corners in 97 to 90 to 2002. But in 2003, it's seen its current configuration with the banking of 18 to 20 degrees around the racetrack. It's a symmetrical oval with progressive banking where tire saving can be very important. Drivers should expect the need to save 10 to 15 laps here tonight. Now, that being said, here's a look at the point standings coming into tonight. J-Bo pulling away sizably. He's got a near 300-point advantage so far, Brayton, over Jeffrey Maconi.
That's one of the biggest point advantages we've seen over the last couple of years for anyone in the Maconi C Fixed Series going into the second half of the season. So J-Bo kind of on a Sunday cruise here in Homestead, has the top down, radio blasting.
Yeah, some of the others like Dakota Lawn in the mix that we've seen strides from. Roger Carruth, interesting enough, for the Craftsman Trucks series, up in 9th for the point standings entering today. But these drivers today expect a stacked field. Why? Your S.O.F is a 54-34. And 3 different drivers from eNASCAR competition for the Coke Series electing to make starts today, with a couple drivers from Real World Action also looking to do the same. Let's take a look at your starting grid here for today. As on the pole, it's Freddie Bezanes who will start on the pole with Bradley Erickson in second. Jake Phillips and Danny Hansen will start in the top 4. Ben Herter alongside J-Bo in 6th position. Then you have Tony Mangi who will start in 7th. It's Jackson Anderson in the 8th position, Jared Duda in 9th, and Caleb Johnson in 10th.
And Nathaniel Landor there in 11th, and Charles Wembley. When everyone knows that he's streaming over on Twitch, you want to watch his point of view. He's going to run off 12th. Jordan Ward, the bottom split driver, making top split here tonight. And 13th, Jeffrey Maconi, second in points, run off 14th, Steph Knoll. Last driver to take a time. Stephen Wilson, the number 1 truck, will be starting 16th. Cody B. Johnson with the Z will be starting 17th. And Jimmy Mullis there to his outside in 18th. Mullis gets 6th grid. Tyler Latrell there in 19th, Graham Bowen 20th, Nathan Scott 21st. Carson Hosbar, the Real World, now a NASCAR Cup Series driver, has a lot of Real World experience here at Homestead in the trucks, though, rolling off 22nd, and Justin Duran will be rolling off shotgun on the field.
That's Oak Shots Bottom. You are here tonight from iRacing's virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. So we get set to take a look at your Maconi Setup Shop race analysis for tonight. 40 laps your distance, by the way, this evening. That's usually the standard when it comes to fixed races here. 1 green, white checkered is available if necessary for these drivers in their fixed iRacing setups. So with that being said here, and talking in mind to a decent track condition as well for these drivers, what are your keys to victory tonight?
That tire wear definitely be the name of the game here. You want to kind of take it slow and easy, run your race, run your pace, and don't hit anybody in the face.
who are you watching out the most for tonight, especially knowing this track temperature actually started kicking up just before we show this on screen?
Yeah, you can qualify up front in most tracks that typically show you your short run speed, but this track, even though this race is only 40 laps, long run speed will be a factor here. And driver, it's going to be hard to bet against. It's going to be Justin Botello there, rolling off 6, your points leader, looking for a big one here tonight.
It'll be a good opportunity to be able to pick up some points. To say the very least, it is one of, if not your highest field S.O.F on the season. So you see Jabo set up for the outside of row 3. Happy with this here at iRacing and Maconi Entertainment for coverage of the Maconi Fixed Series from iRacing's virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Up front, it's Freddie Bezenas and Bradley Erickson. Front row to the restart. Green flag is out. We're underway from Homestead. Bradley Erickson snapped loose through 1 and 2, taking 3 wide already. Jake O. Phillips jumping to second as everybody scatters through 3 and 4. Erickson preferring the wall.
Erickson trying to rebound. They were started second. This race falls down to 5th. 3 wide, they'll come off a turn 4, carrying the high side momentum. Making on Danny Hansen and Ben Herter still 3rd.
Bit of a hornet's nest right now for a lot of drivers. Many of them preferring to run just around the bottom of the racetrack to start. We'll see how those lines progress as time is going to progress. Carson Hocevar, by the way, started for the pit lane here. He's already lost the main pack from the start. 22 seconds compared to the rest of the field. Up front, Hansen, one of the drivers who stood on an eNASCAR Roads Pro qualified iRacing Series competition a couple years ago, making moves. It's 4 wide in the field.
In the back, Jack Anderson hard on the inside wall. One driver up by the wall on the outside, able to get it going straight, but no caution yet. Anderson's running inside the top 10.
We stay green. That was off the nose of Graham Bowen. Keep an eye on the replay.
And the 17 truck here and the 9 truck. 9 is the black truck in the middle. 17 has a bit of a bobble, comes down, cross the nose of Graham Bowen, and the 9 truck goes spinning up throughout the field, and Ham did a good job about avoiding him. He's able to get it back going straight.
But as said, no caution. We stay green. Most of the field sticking to the bottom except for Jared Duda. So it looks like at the very least, the Montegrove Racing, most people have picked up that the better line for the tires might just be wrapping the white line.
Yeah, we see this a lot in the Road to Pro competition last time this year, this year back in October. A lot of drivers like to start out here running the bottom, saving their tires, saving their stuff, and about a couple laps to see him start to kind of move to the high lane as Jaco Phillips, their leader, takes the high line, and it's going to allow Freddie Bezenas to slide right on by the inside for now.
So we're having some swapping up front for the race lead as a result of that, yes. Phillips forced to take the outside. Bezenas now sliding his way to the point just like that. So not bad at all from the 12 truck as he slips and slides his way back to the point with the bottom.
And here comes Phillips with that high side momentum, the high side run, crossover move. They're going to be side by side all throughout this field. Look at the 7 truck of Jabo working his way inside the top 5, ripping the lip. In the right rear, right on there. It's more of an aerodynamic thing in real life. Gives you a little bit of a bubble. Does it carry more speed, a little bit more grip to the track. But iRacing kind of depends your comfort level. A little bit faster depending on who you are, but also looks pretty cool.
Carson Hocevar now following a lap down. Danny Henson nearly hits the back end of Hocevar as the field scatters to get around the lap truck. Something going on with Hocevar. He is running at half power.
Not sure what's going on with that 19, but had to start from the pit lane like you mentioned. It hasn't been able to get that bird the full song quite yet.
Yeah, and you see the entire field just scrambling to get around the NASCAR Cup Series driver coming off some decent showings at the Clash over the weekend at Bowman Gray Stadium. Some more battling continuing. Jabo to the inside of Erickson. Erickson has slipped all the way back to 4th after his initial start and drift on the cold tires.
Hey, mention you gotta save your stuff, you gotta keep your tires intact for the long run. Currently 8 laps into this run. For some drivers, they expect this race to be a caution fest, kind of push a little early, kind of step on their own foot. But coming in, almost 9 laps here, looks to be going green for the most part.
Midfield and how they're racing at the moment. As we make our way through 1 and 2 once again. Ericsson really going for a shallow entry compared to some of those who are taking more of an arc in.
An update on the 19 and Carson Hocevar provided by Jordan Worth. Apparently Hocevar has a steering wheel issue. His wheel has limited power, something like that, but he's not able to get the wheel and the pedal inputs where he wants and not able to get quite the full throttle. So he's going to need a caution or come down and get that rebinded. But until then, he's just out here kind of, I don't want to say he's on a Sunday cruise. He's not even on a cruise.
Yeah, he's maxing at 150 miles an hour around the racetrack. See in the midst of the pack. More zoom for Tony Monchi. He is slipping and sliding his way through some of these trucks. Now he's up to 4th with the move on Ericsson.
Trying to make their move early and trying to hold them off. It's better to play defense later in the run than it is to be on the offense. Ericsson sitting there in 4th. Steven Wilson makes a move around Jabo. Right in line in that one truck. Steven Wilson moving his way up through the field, up 10 spots already in that blue number 1.
Not bad whatsoever indeed from Wilson. Not a surprise from Steven Wilson, knowing his speed in eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series competition. Monty, you'd like to take the top. Wilson doing the same. You'll see him in the backdrop in just a moment here. Just trying to rip the top. By the way, out of the race, Graham Bowen, Jackson Anderson, both have parked it behind the wall. We are up to 2 DNFs already. Contact a little bit with Monty and Wilson.
Now Wilson running the middle line, stuck 3 wide to 5. Ericsson starting to slide up, slides right in line behind the 1. As the 18, Tony Monge about comes down, makes contact with Wilson, but keeps his foot in it, carries up a minute of the 3rd, making a move down the 20, Jaco Phillips.
Battle is on for the race lead once again, by the way. Danny Hansen in his 10 truck, able to get alongside with the pole. That's where the top can really come in, that run down the front stretch. Danny Hansen takes the race lead. Santa is electing to continue to try that bottom of the racetrack. Not going to work to hold on to the lead this time.
13 laps into the run. Freddie Bazna starts to fall back, falls back to 2nd. Not able to counter the high side hustler, Danny Hansen. Going down in the bottom now, trying to take the air off the nose of the 12 truck. Going to force Freddie up the track a little bit, right in the middle groove. As Danny Hansen continues to drive away for now.
But already seeing Wilson trying to find a way to get himself up to the 4th position at the moment. Just trying to find a way to slip and slide on past Monchi, who's been crossing people up with that run on the outside. This time, Wilson nearly slammed the door in his face.
Jaco Phillips about to actually make the move on Freddie Bazna. There for 2nd. Look at that 20 truck. Has the fastest lap of the race so far. Tony Monge goes up the track behind him. Steven Wilson making a move now for 4th. Wilson, the biggest mover, up 11 spots, trying to make it 12.
Still though, that 18 has some good carry and speed during the corner. So you see now it's really become distinct after a lot of people stuck to the bottom of the first 10 laps. Lap 15, half the field preferring the top, half the field preferring the bottom at the moment to try and get themselves going here. Wilson going top side this time, the 18 going bottom.
And one outlier, the 20, Jaco Phillips, running the middle groove. Kind of goes the shorter line around the track, but still able to carry the momentum down the straightaway. The best of both worlds. It's going to really hurt your tires low. So you got to be careful about that long run. Phillips in the 20 goes to the high line. Tony Monge follows him through. Kind of running a bit of a diamond line, trying to get the drive off and carry the speed in. The side-by-side about to make contact. Jared Duda in that 15 truck, that white and green spoiler, make his way up through this top 10 here into 5th.
Not bad at all, as here's the look from 2nd spot. Senna's still holding on to that position. And he's still sticking to his guns around this bottom. I know you were talking about you expected more on the tires, but this 12 continuously seems to make it work by just running below the first seam. Wilson running the RTP line at the first seam meanwhile.
Yeah, we'll see how long the 12 is able to hang on, throws a block on Jacob Phillips in the 20, and we're about at that turning point where tires, the drivers that save them, are going to race to show their shine here, start working their way up through this field if they haven't already, and those that quite haven't saved them are going to start falling back fast in that zone, that 12. I think he'll be okay. He's got a lot of speed. He might struggle a little bit, but he should be able to still contend for a win when it's all said and done. He's going to have to work for it.
Yeah, Boas right now running 13th, battling around that spot. It's not made a lot of forward progress compared to some of the others, interesting enough, absolutely. Stays back in the Hornet's nest. Jeff Maconi as well, who needed a great run today for the points, is still in 19th position. Maconi has not been able to do much at all this race.
That Homestead, statistically speaking, not one of Jeff's strongest tracks. Last time here a couple of months ago, the broadcast time split, got a 19th place finish back then as well. So at least it's consistent, but looking slowly working straight up through the field here, running out of time. Bit of a bobble. Maconi about goes in the wall though. Seeming to back out the field, able to get it wound down, but Maconi about had an oopsie moment there.
Meanwhile, the battle's on for third. Wilson has been able to slip his way past fourth spot. Dude is now up to fifth, by the way. And now Wilson's trying to find a way to poke around Jacob Phillips, sending it this time to go a little bit deeper to be able to try and set up a slight job. Some battling offset behind him in the backdrop as well.
Few drivers ready to take advantage of this multi-groove racing here. Some drivers ripping a lip right up there by the wall. Some drivers running the middle. Some drivers running the bottom. Hanson goes to the bottom, carrying the lead, but you see some of these drivers, the 12 of Baz, that's trying to run the high line, try and build the momentum, and looking to get the crossover move down here, looking low for the lead across the line, going to turn one. He'll have the speed. He's going to carry it straight to the bottom here to the inside of Hanson. He was able to get clear off of turn two.
The answer is tries to slam the door, doesn't. Hanson holds on, and Wilson slammed the door for the third spot meanwhile. Steven Wilson is making the march, near contact for the lead.
Look at that blue and black truck, the number one, biggest mover and one of the fastest trucks all night long. Trying to get the draft off the back bumper of the 12 here. He'll carry the momentum into turn one. What line does he choose? He chooses the bottom while the truck in front of him goes to the bottom as well. That's fast. That's in Hanson running the high lane. Hanson about taps the right rear in the wall. Keeps his foot in it though. He's going to get a great drive off there. And here comes Steven Wilson trying to make the move on the 12, separating him from the lead.
Looking to set this up again on the top of the racetrack. Wilson has a good burst of speed once again to set this up for the cross. Wilson side by side for second, now going for the move. Now trying to go a little bit earlier on the arc. He lunges it for the lead.
Staggered 3 wide for now. Hanson up top. It's going to be Steven Wilson at the bottom. Bassness falls back though, was looking for the middle line, didn't quite get there. Wilson slides up for second. Doesn't defend low. He's going to carry the high line into turn 3. Try to run down Danny Hanson.
Yeah, the more they fight like this, the more this can burn up the tires. But Wilson has proven he's been really smart on his lane choices. Some of the others in the pack, like Lateral, you're seeing now under attack. That's harder to the inside. Side by side for the race lead. Has contact behind him. You see that on screen with the 4 and the 15 squeezing each other as the 1 and the 10 are side by side. Now contact at a turn 2 in the backdrop.
That's Jared Duda and Tyler Lateral. J-Bo's going to split him 3 wide, though, down the middle. A bit of contact coming off the corner. Both drops able to keep it straight. Looking back up front. Wilson breathing down the neck of Danny Hanson. Trying to smell what he had for dinner, lunch, maybe even breakfast. Looking inside, though, going into turn 1. The 17, now 16 laps to go from Homestead.
Wilson trying to close out the job. Now with the move, the slide. Up to the lead is Wilson. But now that crossover gets set up easily for Hanson. It's been an art form to be able to get a pass done today. The 4 now making friends with some of these squeezes.
That's Steven Wilson, though, trying to make a move for the lead. Side-by-side cross line, 3 wide behind him, low. So 3 wide, 2 wide, single file all throughout this field. They're going to get single file going into turn 1. As Steven Wilson with a power move to the bottom, try and get the lead here.
Good buffer this time after the switch. Hansen not going to back down, though, as to be expected here. It looks like Hansen doesn't want to burn up those front tires with the lunges on the inside. Wilson has been able to time things up perfectly for the crossover.
Now Wilson still side by side, not quite able to get, they're able to get the left. Ludlow leads over Danny Hinton by 9,000ths of a second. So 16th to first for Steven Wilson, first driver not to take a time. If you remember, had to work his way all the way up through this field. Meanwhile, Hansen's been in the top 5 the majority of this race, if not all of it. He's kind of been able to save his tires a little bit more than Wilson. See if he has anything in store.
Absolutely right now, Duda back in 8th. He was up in the top 5 just a couple minutes ago. As Jordan Ward to his inside. It's just not been able to keep up on the long run and has been shuffled around and squished a little bit with lateral a little bit around this racetrack. And that's the tough thing is, if you aren't able to keep up with the momentum, at least 2, 3, 4 drivers will be ready to try and cross you up and pull away and take advantage.
Like driving a pack of hungry hippos. It's Jordan Wharf there in the 8 track, a bit of a bobble off the corner. Able to keep it straight though, but like you're saying, one mistake, one bobble to slip up, and they're going to pounce on you and take those positions easy peasy. Don't mind if they do.
Jordan Worth, by the way, trying to battle for his highest point of the race. He's been around the mid-pack most of this one today. He's one of those preferring to stick to the bottom of the racetrack and let the track come to him, slow rolling it.
Trying to not lose the spot here to the 15 of Duda. Gets right back in line. 15 goes to the high lane. Jordan Worth goes to the bottom. Trying to get the draft off that 7 and J-Bo.
Still no move from either of them at the moment. Big switch over in the backdrop. That is Landwehr. That is Lateral, who's now gone on to the apron. Something has just happened to the 4 truck. He is backing out of it and parking it on the access road.
I'm not sure what happened there. Was running inside the top 10. They're just outside of it in 11th, and he takes it to the garage for the night. So he will be joining Jackson Youngton and Graham Pullen as our DNFs for tonight. Not sure what happened there.
Interesting to say the very least. He had been running decent in the race. As we continue to see some good battling, tight battling now. Some squeezing up on the front straightaway. Oh, Phillips, near contact. Phillips now getting switched up with Duda.
The drivers trying to make their final charge to the front. Meanwhile, Steven Wilson mentioned working his way up through the field. He got around Danny Hansen and basically said goodbye after that. Has almost a second advantage trying to drive away from these drivers behind him.
Good speed on those tires, to say the very least. 3 wide for a split moment as we look up front. Hansen doing a good job defending for second at least. He has scraped the right rear quarter panel a little bit, but nothing really else out of sorts. Just that Wilson, even with the pack, was able to manage the tires that much better.
Danny Hansen there saw the battle for second going on. Behind them, though, Ben Herter quietly been running inside the top 10 this entire race, currently in the 5th position, making a move now on Bradley Erickson side by side with that 5-tech bump, make contact coming off the corner. Erickson drives right on by, but Ben Herter having a pretty good race here in that 11 truck so far.
Started top 5, has maintained the top 10 for this entire run. As you see some of the yards behind them still battling, some of those dropping back, includes the 20. Phillips has really fallen back as this race has progressed all of a sudden. And everybody's starting to swarm up and march their way by, making passes on the bottom.
And you gotta do what you gotta do. Desperation starting to set in. Cross the line this time by 7 laps to go from Homestead.
Closing stages as Herder makes the slide in front of Ericsson, you see. Worth able to squeak on by some of that traffic we were looking at him at earlier. Seth Noel was also done the same, as now they're side by side trying to sidetrap each other in front of him.
Yeah, looking off the hood of Jordan Worth, helping these two make a slip up, able to run them down and get the 2 spots here. Worth started all the way back in 13th, trying to run down the 2nd and 5th place starter of Herder and Ericsson.
Herder that time got a bit of the wall. Able to still hold on to it. Ericsson at the very least tries to run the bottom to see if he can slip back in front. Worf just clipped the curve, a little bit of the wall as well. Here comes the run for Herder.
Herder try and run the bottom line. The shade's starting to come out on the track, going to cool the track down a little bit. Jordan Worth, though, entering this picture in the 8 truck. Herder slides up, makes a bit of contact, moves Ericsson out of the way. Herder trying to drive right on by. He will get the spot. That's going to open the door for Jordan Worth. Now looking inside the 5 of Ericsson.
Oh, that's not good. Worth nearly got into the fender of the 5. 3 wide as Worth tries to paint the bottom. Herder scrapes the wall once again. Less than 5 laps to go as Herder knocks off the paint from his car/truck to make the move.
And meanwhile, Steven Wilson, 2-second advantage for him, but they are fighting like a huge hornet's nest back here. Ericsson throws the block on Jordan Worth, coming in 4 laps to go from Homestead Miami Speedway. Ericsson trying to hang on to this top 5 finish here. He's going to do all he can to hold off that 8 truck of Jordan Worth.
This again, the battle to hold on to a top 4 finish. A slide from Ericsson. A crossover for Worth gets cut off for a moment. Noel thought about poking. Worth instead does make the move. Worth slides his way side by side for 5th.
Jordan Worth, the man on a move here in the final stages of this race here. Now it's Ben Herder in his sights, trying to get that 4th spot. They're side by side behind him, though. Cross the line of Ericsson. Seth. No! Ericsson about gets turned, gets it going back straight. What a save by the 5 truck going into turn 1.
Ericsson's tires are starting to really go off now as he hits the wall. That drops him back a little bit more. And that's why it's so important to save the tires. You never know if you'll go full race distance like today.
Ericsson just trying to hang on. Thinks about making a move on the outside, just can't carry the speed around the 6th Seth Knoll. And in front of him, Jordan Worth, though, that 8 blue truck has run down Ben Herder a little bit. And Freddie Badge that's not making a move on 2nd, coming to a lap and a half to go.
Steve Benz is trying to fight side by side. Hansen has the run outside. Jumps back up to 2nd. As we come to the white flag, Wilson leading by a full corner.
And Wilson over 3.5 second advantage now coming off of turn 4. White flag in the air for the number 1 truck.
White flag is out, final time around here for the Maconi Fixed Series from Homestead. Keeping an eye on Worth, trying to set things up to battle for 1 more spot. Looking for the cross, maybe the cut down to Herder. Herder a little bit slower in the corner.
Badge hit the wall in front of him.
Smacked off the wall. Besna is now under risk of being passed by both of them. Worf goes for the move. Steven Wilson comes out of the final corner. He'll take the checker flag to get the win at Homestead by dominating fashion. Oh, that's wow. In the battle behind him, Worf does get the edge for 4th.
Side by side there, they about caught the 12 of passing. That's the final podium. But instead, Worf going to have to settle for 2nd, narrowly beating out Ben Herder there. Both drivers a great run for the 8 and the 11 there to finish 4th and 5th side by side.
So the one machine gets to celebrate a victory here today. As the field pulls off to the side here, we'll take a quick step aside when we come back. Post-race results and post-race interviews. You're watching coverage of the Maconi Fixed Series from Homestead on iRacing and Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Maconi Fixed Series after we went green to checkered here at iRacing's virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Let's take a look at your in-sim official results here tonight as it ends up going the distance. Steven Wilson goes from 16th to 1st to win by almost 4 seconds. Outright dominant long run speed. Danny Hansen, Freddie Bazinez in the top 3. Then it's Worth and Herder in the top 5. Seth Noel finished off in 6th. Bradley Erickson in 7th. Justin Patello back in 8th. Jimmy Moas did go 22nd and 9th, while Jerry Duda finished in 10th.
Then Orlando Star 11th, he's going to finish 11th there. Tony Moans finishes 12th. Jake O. Phillips did lead 1 lap, had the fastest lap of the race. Bit of a bobble late in the race for him to finish 13th, though. Cody B. Johnson finishes 14th, Nathan Scott 15th. Charles Wembley falls back a couple spots from his initial starting spot to finish 16th. Caleb R. Johnson finishes 17th. Justin Durand finishes 18th here. Jeff Maconi 19th. And Carson Hosfar never got that caution he needed to overcome troubles. Finishes 10 laps down in 20th under the 3 DNFs, Tyler Latrell, Jackson Anderson, and Graham Bourne.
That's all top to bottom. Matt, you're one over here tonight from iRacing, the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway. Your thoughts on tonight's race here, Brayton, as we went the distance, had some good battling, had drivers go multiple lanes, and be able to show good speed.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a long run race coming into it. We didn't expect it to go flag to flag there without any kind of break or caution. So a long run speed was definitely a driver's passion. You had to kind of sit there and plan for that going into it. And not a lot of drivers expected to go flag to flag there. So it was very much a strategy call there by Wilson. Had to work his way up from 16th from the starting grid to get the win, but a very impressive drive nonetheless.
Remember, the next race is going to be February the 12th that you'll see here on iRacing Maconi Entertainment. It's Daytona week, Brayton, and that should be fun for Speed Weeks.
Daytona! Yeah, if you thought your safety rating or iRating got hurt this week, next week's going to be a whole different story. Daytona, land of unpredictable, and the World Center of Racing. Always a good show.
Be sure to tune in once again, 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, February the 12th is the date. But it's just about time to say goodbye. I'd like to thank the race sponsor, Maconi Setup Shop, as well as you, the viewers, for tuning in. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Brandon Laster. DJ Lion was producing. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's action. We hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to the entire staff for the work and bring this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.